Hey guys, Furum here, and today I have something exciting to share with you guys. This video has been sponsored by GT Manager, and when the Tiny Digital Factory contacted me about this game, I downloaded it and knew right away that it was a game that you guys would probably enjoy. GT Manager is a racing management game where you build a factory and upgrade your cars, and you're essentially in control of an entire motorsport team. This game is in the sport management genre, and GT Manager's goal is to become one of the leaders in the segment. So what is this game about? Well, in this video I'm going to give you an introduction, take you through the tutorial, and tell you pretty much everything that you need to know about it. So, the general gist of it is, in each of the races, you are sort of looking from a top-down view, so you're not actively driving the cars themselves, but you're still in control of many areas. So you have two racers in each race, so you are on the blue team, and your goal is to beat the two racers on the red team. You can click the arrows on the side to make one car go faster, which is what I have just done. And then if you want to go even faster, you have a limited amount of boosts in a race which you can use to overtake cars. Now, you don't have to get the very top places in each game, you just have to beat your two rival racers in the red team. Down at the bottom of your screen, you can see a tab for each of your racers. The top bar tells you what percentage of tire wear you have, and the lower bar tells you how many miles you have left to go on the fuel that you have right now. Since the tires wear out, you have to take a pit stop in the middle of races sometimes, and you can choose either soft tires, which give you better performance, or medium tires, which last longer but don't give you quite as good of performance. By the way, I do apologize for the little bit of lag in this video. The game itself ran very smoothly, but my recorder apparently didn't as much. So since I chose to pit stop, the car is now going into the pit lane. During this time, the car is refueled, the engine cools down, and the tires are replaced with whichever one you choose. This does take a little bit of time, as it does in real life, so you will get put a bit further back in the placings, but of course everybody else has to pit at some point as well, so they even each other out overall. If you ever get confused about maybe where you are in the track or how your racers are doing, you can click on the map for a top-down view and see exactly where everyone is, and maybe get a better idea of what you need to do in order to improve your placing. Then you can tap again and return to the normal view. We're in lap 2 out of 2, and looking at the top you can see the placings of my two racers, which are in blue, and overall we are ahead of the rival team. So we're looking in pretty good shape, but you always want to pass somebody if you can, so that's what we do around this sharp turn here. And now Lou is into second place. I saw that we were catching up pretty close to the first place racer, so I decided to give the car another boost to pass him to come to the end of the second lap, and therefore we take the victory in the first race with our first car, and our other racer comes in 8th place, or 7th actually, got ahead at just the last second, and so overall we win this race. This is because of the points system. The blue team's two cars add up to 27 points, and the red team's only added up to 13, so that's double the points. After the race, we get some rewards, the first of which is a blueprint for a new car. There are many official GT cars from major brands in this game. Also, you can get car parts to boost performances, you can get new drivers as well. So here we have gotten 2 new drivers, and last but not least, you can also get sponsors, which get you more money at the end of your races. Now, after you get all these new parts, I'm sure you want a way to apply them to your car to make it the best that it can be, and where you do that is inside the factory, which you can see right here. So in this game, you have the ability to build the headquarters of your racing team, which consists of 5 buildings and 12 departments to improve the performance of your cars and drivers. So here you see that we already have a factory, and this is where we can apply the suspension to the car, and you can upgrade them with a certain amount of money. Now, upgrading these parts gives you a level of experience, and the more experience you get, the more that you level up, which allows you to build more different kinds of buildings and unlock other things as well. Once you reach level 2, you can build a driver building, which does take a little bit of time to build, but you can accelerate its construction for free the first couple of times, so you go ahead and do that, and then you can go into the driver building and apply your new drivers. And I thought this was pretty cool. Whenever you construct a new building, fireworks go off in the background to celebrate your accomplishment. So now we go into the building, and here we can see that we can select our drivers. Now you always have 2 drivers, so you want to have 2 drivers in those slots. At this point, once you have a car and 2 drivers, you are now ready to race, which you can enter the garage to do. Now there are many different types of game modes in here. The sprint is the one that we will be playing in this video, but as you go up in levels, you will unlock more, such as the seasonal events, daily races, and endurance. If GT Manager looks interesting to you, it is available for free to play on the Apple, Google, Huawei, and Samsung stores. And later in this video, I'm going to be telling you how you can get the race pass for free as well. So now we have a track in England, and overall there are 11 different race tracks in this game. The sprint races are 5 kilometers long and 5 laps. At the beginning of each race, you can choose whether you want soft or medium tires for each of your racers. I decided to go with soft on one and medium on the other to showcase some differences between the two, because this is a fairly strategic decision that you have to make. You really get an in-depth experience from the pit lane in this game, and it was unlike any sort of racing game that I had played before. I'm sure you see that it is played in vertical format. Well, this game is intended to give short races and short racing sessions that you can just pick up on the go and play wherever you want to. Some of the races in GT Manager are played at night, and you can also compete online in 1 versus 1 races to build your weekly and seasonal rankings. Throughout the course of this game, as you level up, you will be able to expand more and more upon your team, including not only the buildings, but also in the production factory, in R&D, in recruiting other racers, engineers, and sponsors. And it's just a way that you can build a strategy from the top down, at the upper levels down to the minute details in the races, to give yourself the best chance possible to claim victory. And in this race, it's looking pretty good so far. Our racers are in 2nd and 6th position, as you can see up top and on the bottom, and the rivals, however, are in 3rd and 5th, so we want to be able to get a bit better placings. On the left and to the right of your screen toward the bottom, you will see that each racer has their own level of speed. That is what the little arrow boxes are. The 3rd level at the top tells your car to go the fastest, but it also wears your engine out, and at some point you will need to drop down to a lower level of speed so your engine does not completely overheat, and that's what looks like is happening to Sack right now. So we ask him to slow down by tapping on the lowest speed, and this does make the car slow down. However, it begins to increase the engine's reliability again. Now, depending on what place you are in the race, it may or may not be a good idea to leave your cars here for a while. So if you are pretty much way out front and there's not many people catching up to you, it might be a good idea to leave them in their lowest speed for a while, so that later on, if people do catch up, you can then go to your maximum speed without worrying about it. And this is what I did right here. We were comfortably in 2nd and 4th place. I checked the top-down view to see just where my rivals were, and it didn't look like they were catching up. So I let my car stay in the lowest speed for a while. Then I decided to speed up Era again, because the engine reliability had gone up to halfway. However, I then noticed that Era's tires were definitely wearing out faster than Sack, since I gave him soft ones. And here's where you have to think about this a bit. So the race is 5 laps, we're currently in the 3rd lap, and the soft tires last for 2 to 3 laps. So it makes sense when asking Era to go into the pit to give him another set of soft tires, which should easily last him throughout the rest of the 2 laps in the race. Now, Sack, on the other hand, has also made it into the 4th lap, and he has just under half on his tires. So, if I do not run him too hard throughout the rest of the race, he should actually be able to make it through all 5 laps without having to go in for a pit stop. And so that is what I was going to try. So, is it better to do 2 soft tires and get better performance out the race and have to pit once, or choose medium tires, possibly not have to pit at all, so saving yourself a little bit of time on that car, but while reducing your performance in the race? Both ways seem to have worked out pretty well so far. However, Sack with the medium tires is in 1st place at this point, and we have got just 1 lap to go. However, I was running Sack pretty hard. I had rejuvenated his engine a lot a while back, and now I'm running on full throttle. Another thing you have to keep in mind is the amount of fuel that the cars have left. Now, Sack should be fine on fuel too, although it is going to be close because he only has 1 lap left, but we are already in the final lap, so it should be fine. And these decisions are entirely up to you in this game. You can choose whether to play it more risky like I am with Sack, or a bit safer as I am with with Era. I wanted to showcase sort of both ways of playing this, and you can see that they've pretty much caught up right next to each other in the race, with Era being just ahead of Sack now. Well, we're now rounding the final bend in the race. Sack does get past to the last second, but our two racers still come in 3rd and 5th place, giving us a very big lead over the rival racers in terms of points. After each race you play, you gain a certain amount of experience points, and after this race, I leveled up to level 3, and now I can buy a marketing building. And this is where you can apply your sponsorship. So GT Manager is a result of more than 10 years of experience building racing games from the Tiny Digital Factory team. They worked with Codemasters and Eden Games, including co-developing the official F1 mobile racing game, which has been downloaded by 16 million players and is played daily by 150,000 people. And they want to give you the ability to get the race pass in this game for free by emailing GTM_Furum to support@tinydigitalfactory.com along with your race ID before the end of the month. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video if you have enjoyed, and consider subscribing for more Asphalt and other games content. And I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!